The film opens in the city of Santiago, where Chile lives an astonishingly beautiful woman, Amanda. She works for an architectural firm and is very good at her job. Amanda phones her boyfriend Pablo one afternoon. She wants to accompany him to her friend Fernanda's birthday celebration. Amanda is unaware that her boyfriend is cosplaying as a cat in Fernanda's bedroom. Fernanda distracts Pablo over the phone, causing him to hang up quickly. They mistakenly contact Amanda again seconds later, and she hears them groaning and meowing. It doesn't take her long to storm Fernanda's residence with a shotgun. Pablo claims that he was abducted after they were apprehended, but Amanda is too wise to believe him. She shoots him in the crotch to make sure he never cheats on anybody else again. Amanda is discussing anger management with a psychiatrist in the following scenario. She shows no remorse for what she done. In fact, she is certain she would do it again if she were in the same position. The doctor admits that anyone with her level of rage has to be imprisoned. Amanda's perspective on things alters as a result of the revelation, and she immediately feels bad about what she done. She gets fired after convincing the doctor that nothing like this will happen again. The matter has reached the police, and hence Amanda's employment. She tells her supervisor that she was deceived by two of her closest friends. He considers her position in their firm and ultimately chooses to terminate her. Amanda is no longer interested in living in Santiago. She packs her belongings and relocates to Valparaiso. Her brother has a vacant house where she may stay for the next 6 months. She is also optimistic that she will find work in the city. Amanda is solely concerned in being sought by males. After what occurred the past time, she doesn't want to date or fall in love with anyone. And lovely lady like her, on the other hand, is never left alone. She goes to church to relax and becomes friends with the preacher after telling him about her worries. He also lives alone and has no direct family members. He invites her to come to him whenever she wants someone to talk to. Amanda reads through a lot of job postings in the newspaper at home. They all have lesser requirements than her qualifications and expertise. She chooses one at random, which happens to be an architectural firm similar to the one she used to work for. She then purchases a bulky bodysuit, hideous teeth, and artificial cosmetics to make herself appear awful. She is unrecognizable after putting everything on, even to individuals she previously knew. She goes to the firm for an interview in the next scene. Her supervisor, Max, interviews her extensively and discovers she has a spouse and 2 boys. Amanda feels that telling her husband's tale will make her lie more acceptable, and thus minimize male approaches. Max does not need any verification and hires her based on her experience. Amanda feels validated for the first time in her life since she knows her attractiveness didn't bring her the job. Following that, Max introduces her to the team members and their tasks. The first is Juan, a married man. He has 3 children, works full-time, and is pursuing his master's degree. Then there's Karen, a stunning young office lady who performs the least amount of work but is adored by everyone for her attractiveness. Finally, we are introduced to Marcelo, an architect. He is the stereotypical womanizer who evaluates individuals mainly on their physical attractiveness. Marcelo's daily routine consists of working and bringing home a new woman every night. When he first meets Amanda, he is immediately disgusted by her appearance. Amanda recognizes the type of man he is and softly condemns his shallow ideas. The two caution each other to keep away from each other, ignorant that fate is about to cross their paths. Amanda is informed about an ancient Telmex facility that their employer recently restored during their first meeting. They completed the renovation, although there has been some interruption in the building's internet connectivity due to an unexplained structural fault. Amanda immediately sees that it must be due to a VP1 service issue. Karen believes that Amanda's involvement with the project will further complicate matters because she is new to the position. Max believes that she should be the one to address the situation. Karen is fired, which quickly makes her dislike Amanda. Marcelo and Juan are assigned to follow Amanda to the issue location and assist her. The men are not thrilled to be her helpers, but they do their best. The trees in the next scene are on the building's terrace. Amanda is working hard to solve the problem, while Marcelo is bragging to Juan about his sexual exploits. Amanda informs them that the interference is most likely originating from the railway station. They proceed to the place where Marcelo and Juan are still talking as Amanda works. She eventually realizes that the water pipes that run directly beneath the structure are interfering with the waves. Amanda and Marcelo go to see the water channel, while Juan remains to see when the train departs. Marcelo remains outside to monitor the frequency, letting Amanda to explore the channels on her own. She can't fit through one of the gates and has to remove her fat costume. Amanda's equipment stops operating when the squad is conversing through walkie-talkies. Marcelo arrives to check on her before she can get dressed. Amanda hurriedly flashes her torch light at him and explains she had to remove her garments so they wouldn't get soiled. Fortunately for her, Marcelo turns and walks away. After a productive day at work, the three go to a bar for a few beers. They travel in Amanda's automobile, which she has loaded with toys for children to make it appear more authentic. Marcelo makes sexual comments again in the pub, making the other two uncomfortable. Juan leaves Amanda and Marcelo behind to study early. Amanda accuses him of being a superficial guy when they are alone. Marcelo joyfully agrees, claiming that children and marriage are the pinnacles of life. Amanda feels sorry for him since he will never know true friendship and love that lasts longer than a night. Marcelo still fantasizes about his dream girl's body and is an unashamed womanizer. This irritates Amanda since it reminds her of her ex-boyfriend. She can't stop thinking about his statements even while she's at home. She realizes she looks just like the fantasy lady he described after removing the fat suit and wig. Amanda decides to teach Marcelo a lesson and returns to the club, this time disguised as her true self. Marcelo is immediately drawn to her when they meet. He attempts to take her somewhere private throughout the night. She leads him on and then rejects him, leaving him unsure if she is interested or not. Finally, she pledges to see him the next day and departs. Amanda goes to the pastor the next day and tells him what she did. The man warns her she will be sorry for what she did last night because she will have to tell him the truth one day. Amanda, on the other hand, is adamant on teaching Marcelo a lesson. Marcelo boasts around the office about meeting a girl in a bar and her falling head over heels for him. Amanda is aware that he is exaggerating, but she keeps it to herself. Marcelo eagerly awaits her arrival at the club in the evening, but an hour later, she texts him to say she won't be there. The next day, the same thing occurs. After hours of waiting, Marcelo receives a text message stating that they should meet at his house tomorrow. He tells Amanda at work about the new female who is so into him that she comes to his house at night. Amanda grins as she listens to his stories, well aware that he is lying. Marcelo orders takeout and dishes it to look like he prepared it for his date. She quickly appears and begins flirting with him. Things start to heat up after a time of eating and conversing. Marcelo is kissing her arm when she stops him and tells him she will be late. He is perplexed after she departs since no lady has ever treated him in this manner. At work, he vents his rage on Amanda. He has begun to see her as a true friend, which he has never done with any other lady in his life. Meanwhile, Karen is enraged because she has a crush on Marcelo. She constantly eavesdrops on the pair in order to figure out what they're talking about. Later that day, she inquires about Amanda's children. Amanda realizes that if she does not exhibit her children to the public, they would begin to distrust her. As a result, she requests that the pastor arrange for 2 young boys to join her on a playdate. She presents them to the workplace the next day to verify that she is, in fact, a mother. Surprisingly, she notices Marcelo playing with the youngest child. He has regularly stated that he despises children, which appears to be a falsehood. Amanda returns to his residence at night for a second date. Something is different about Marcelo this time. He makes more of an effort to get to know her rather than flirt with her. They eventually make their way to his bed and begin kissing. Things heat up quickly, but cool down quickly when Marcelo doesn't obtain an erection. Marcelo is telling Amanda all that has transpired in the next scenario. She proposes that he put in more effort to impress the new female, such as cooking for her rather than ordering takeout. They cook together at his residence. This is the first time Marcelo has had a female friend visit him at home, and he is overjoyed. They go to the terrace after dining and converse for a long time. He leans forward and kisses her unexpectedly. He apologizes immediately, but they can't ignore the flames in their hearts. Marcelo is chatting about his love life with Max in the following scenario. Max instructs him to close his eyes and imagine a woman. Marcelo doesn't tell who he saw, but he knows she's the love of his life. Amanda arrives at his place later that day for their third date. Marcelo, to her astonishment, confesses his feelings for her. Amanda thinks he's lying and is disappointed that he's still the same person despite all they've discussed. She forces him to wear female clothing and binds his hands to the bedpost. But, contrary to his expectations, she pulls out a knife and slices his stomach. After a few hours, the police come on the scene and release Marcelo. They understand the blood is phony, and the woman was only trying to terrify Marcelo. Marcelo feels embarrassed when the news is broadcast on television. Amanda had given him a lesson, as she intended, but something doesn't feel right. When she tells the pastor, he proclaims that she is madly in love with him. When Marcelo returns to the workplace, he informs her that he is a different guy today. What occurred to him yesterday has made him realize she was correct. He has to start seeking for true love rather than one-night affairs. Having stated that, he goes out with Karen. He comes at Amanda's house inebriated late at night. She talks through the door to protect him from seeing her. Marcelo explains that he proposed to Karen and that they will marry this week. He does, however, admit that he is in love with Amanda. She is not his sort of woman and is married, yet he couldn't help but fall in love with her. He is marrying Karen since he knows she will never be his. They both cry and go away without saying anything else. The wedding day eventually arrives. Amanda and Marcelo run into each other outside the church. Amanda considers telling him the truth, but decides against it. Before the wedding begins, they exchange an intense hug. Marcelo is asked by the priest if he accepts Karen as his legally married wife. Everyone waits for his response, which never comes. Amanda sneezes, and her artificial dentures fall out of her mouth. Marcelo removes her wig, recognizing the reality. The scenario shifts forward a few years. Amanda and Marcelo have 3 children and are expecting a 4th. They have a wonderful life with their family. Subscribe to the channel for more videos like this, switch on notifications, and leave a like to support it. Thank you for your time.